bought the Como Roundhouse in 2002. I was on a concert tour with the Aries Brass Quintet because that's what I do. I play tuba. The Aries Brass Quintet has toured all of Europe, Russia, Japan, Central and South America, but we also used to do quite a bit of touring in Colorado. And we had a trip to Creede, Colorado, and Lake City. And on the way back of that concert tour, I said to the members of our quintet, we have to drive back via Highway 285 so you can all see this beautiful stone roundhouse that Chuck calls the Holy of Holies. So we got to Como and we pulled up in front of the Como Roundhouse, and there was a for sale sign and a phone number, which I immediately wrote down, and I said to all my friends, I've got to go home and I've got to tell Chuck about this, but I don't know that I should because Chuck's going to want to look into this because this is maybe his favorite building in all of Colorado. So when I got home, we called the number and did some investigation, and whoever we talked with said that there had been some interest in it, including Kmart, which was interested in possibly buying it as a place where they could park trucks. And Chuck and I immediately thought, well, that can't happen. That just can't happen. So we bought the Como Roundhouse.
I'm a history nut. When I first saw the roundhouse, I recognized its importance. When trains went southwest out of Denver, they stopped in Como in preparation for the long, tough journey through the mountains. They traveled through striking mountain scenery and along cliffs on tracks which were themselves engineering marvels. The tracks up to the Alpine Tunnel were a monument to 19th century railroad construction.
It was at a time when Chuck's practice as a vascular surgeon was really, really busy. I was working full-time for the Denver Brass and teaching at the University of Denver and managing the houses that we had restored in our neighborhood. They became rental properties, so I was managing that, and we were just too busy to do anything, so we just held the property and protected it that way up until 2016 when we were finally able to start a nonprofit organization that could address turning the Roundhouse into a museum, and an interactive museum at that, a place where people could come and actually see turn-of-the-century railroading in action.
What really jump-started the restoration of the Roundhouse was when Kathy fell in love with Klondike Kate. She originally worked for the Klondike mines in the Yukon and later played an important role in Alaska during World War II. She operated alongside several Colorado steam engines, both in Skagway, Alaska, and while working on the Alcan Highway. She has now found her forever home in Como, Colorado.
The South Park Rail Society was established in 2016, and from that time until now, 2023, a whole lot's been happening at the Como Roundhouse. And we've got lots and lots of volunteers who are enthusiastic and dedicated, and all kinds of wonderful things.
It's hard to believe that such a small town, we have remarkable volunteers in Como. Believe it or not, there were 25 trains a day running through Como. The locals are just starting to get used to the sounds of a steam engine again, and they love it. Every time I visit the train in Como, I'm greeted there by highly skilled volunteers. It seems like the volunteers appear whenever their particular trade is needed. We have a remarkable collection of volunteers who not only have the skills but are willing and able, anything that's needed.
We're real excited about the future of the whole Como rail complex. There's just so much there that people are going to love and really get a lot out of interacting with.
As we continue our progress, there will be more and more train whistles in Como. Como will become a place where narrow gauge rail fans come to worship.
Well, I think the question is, where do we go from here with our exciting project in Como? My next dream is to start meeting with county and state people or whoever we need to meet with to see if we can't take our track down to the trestle and up the other side of the valley to the King Y, because it would be so nice to look across that valley and see the train following its original track back towards Denver. We have the most amazing volunteers. We have volunteers with all kinds of different talents. We have all kinds of engineers and electricians and people like James McKay who have fabulous camera and video skills, people who are great at marketing and tour guides, people who order merchandise so that we have t-shirts and hats to sell. And of course, an income stream is critically important to what we're trying to accomplish in Como. We have a magnificent website now and just people who bent over backwards and have almost made it a full-time job in retirement to make sure that the Como project is successful. It's really exciting. Oh, and the best part, they're all really fun, incredible people who've become really close friends of ours. So I have fun just going to Como. I get excited about seeing our friends and talking railroad and hanging out around a campfire at night with some good food and tasty beverages. Part of our dream for Como is that one day the railroad complex and the depot and the hotel will all be united into one property and owned and managed by a nonprofit so that it can really be a destination. People can come there, spend a night in the hotel, just really have time to immerse themselves in everything that we have to offer on the campus. That's the dream, and we're working to see if that can become a reality. And of course, with all these people we have, all our volunteers, we've got people who can accomplish anything there. So there won't be any shortage of resources for rehabbing the hotel and maybe making sure that food would be great. A brew pub would be great.
It won't be long before we have Kate running again, better than ever.